morning from Okinawa, Japan, home Okisubies. Today we're working on a WRX, Bugeye WRX to be specific. And they're having an issue with rod knock. They believe that it's rod knock. They took it to another shop, they believe it's rod knock. But we at Okisubies, only working on Subarus, have experienced this issue before, and we believe it's not rod knock. We believe it's a timing tensioner. And so we're going to tear this thing apart, and we'll give you the step-by-step on how we're doing it, and hopefully we can find that it's a tensioner, not an engine that is blown. Okay, so first things first is we're going to try and create as much room as possible around the timing belt cover. So we're going to take off the belts, take off the battery. We're going to take the fans off. We're going to leave the radiator in for right now, just so that we're not doing more work than we have to, and just create a bunch of space. So 10 mils for pretty much everything that we're doing here. 10 mils even for the fan. So a 10 millimeter wrench or a ratchet is all that you'll need to take it all apart. For the belts, it's 12 mil, but we'll show you how we take belts off. First off, we're just going to take the covers off. Covers off right now, and so we're getting to the belts. Belts are really easy, and I love Subaru because of this. The accessories are right up front, and everything is done with a 12 millimeter socket or wrench. So we have this bad boy right here. The tensioner for the AC belts is really good for it. So you just break loose the pulley on the bottom. It's like the fixed nut. Back it off, and then right here is another 12 mil, and you'll loosen that, and it'll loosen the belt. Same for the alternator and power steering. There's a tensioner bolt right here. You loosen that bolt, turn this counterclockwise, it loosens the belt. Really simple stuff. Okay, so if you can hear me over the rain, taking off the last cover, the center cover. You have to take off the right and left first, and then you can access the center. So we're just going to be looking for anything crazy. All right, there is fluid on top of the tensioner. It's not necessarily the reason of the noise. All the bearings look good. What we're going to do is go ahead and start it up. We're going to see if we can visually see this thing bouncing around. Hopefully right there. Yeah, from right here. You know what? What I'm going to do is just apply a little bit more tension to the tensioner up on top, just like that, and it's gone. And it's gone right there. All day long.
So this piece right here is called a tensioner. And literally what it does is it puts tension on this belt. Right? So it keeps tension on there. When this fails, this little piece of metal that's actually pushing against the top of this block fails, and it stops putting tension. And what happens is that extra play now starts to hit on the top of the actual engine, and it's actually bouncing off and making that noise. When it's supposed to be pushing pressure on it the whole time, now it's not, and the belt is making it hit the engine in itself, making all that noise.
Can you do the sound again for the camera?
All right, so now that we've found the good news being that there is a tensioner in this pad, we're going to replace the tensioner in the timing belt. First things first though, is what you want to do before you start ripping everything apart, is you want to put the engine in time. And so it's really simple. It's a 22 millimeter socket. You put the actual bolt back into the crank, and you'll turn it until all of the timing belts are lined up. And we'll show you what that looks like here in a bit. After that, once you have everything in line, you'll take this special tool right here. This one is made by company23.com, and you'll take, and this goes into the actual Allen keys that hold the cam gears on. And this holds your cam gear, your timing gears in place. and then you start ripping everything apart. This will make it really easy when you're putting it all back together. The timing gears, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, they're kind of marked. So there's 2 on the top one, 2 on the bottom. You want to line those up. And there's 1 on the top of the top gear that lines up this little notch on the actual timing cover. And then on the side here, there's another timing belt or timing mark, 1 line that lines up with the timing mark on the plastic cover on the side. And just lining those up, you want to do it on the other side too. There's actually also a timing mark right here on the pulley that goes to the crankshaft that lines up with the engine itself. There's a mark on the engine. So lining all that up before you start is essential. All right, so with the old tensioner out, you can take and see there's a lot of fluid at the top, and this being a hydraulic like shock, when it leaks from the top, I mean it's going bad, right? You can also see where it's making contact also with the engine itself right there. And so we got the new tensioner kit in, the new tensioner and time belt kit in. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. No noise at all. How about that? Silent. Good stuff. Alright, well that concludes this. We'll put it back together. I don't think you need to see all that. But if you have any issues with your car in the future, please hit us up. We'll try and make a video about simple fixes for things like that. Simple things like this. These guys really thought they needed to replace their engine. It wasn't a bad engine, it's just a tensioner. A really simple, cheap fix. And so, yeah, thanks for watching, and we hope to be able to create some more content for you in the future that you would be interested in watching. Let us know if you want anything specific, and we'll try and make those videos. Thanks again.